I'm Chris Williams from Cyclone Fanatic and a proud Iowa State graduate from the class of 2007. No one shows up like Iowa State fans. And Cyclones support Cyclones on and off the field. Your gift can provide scholarships to students, fund groundbreaking research. We could even drum up opportunities for the marching band. Visit MoveWhatMatters.com to learn how you can make an impact today.
Chris Williams, Brent Blum. From the Northwest Bank Studios, it's Williams and Blum, presented by Mechdyne, on the Cyclone Fanatic Podcast Network.
What is up? Welcome to Cyhawk Wednesday, Williams and Blum, presented as always by Mechdyne. We are in the Northwest Bank Studios. Welcome to the show. We are live on your Wednesday morning. Many of you, of course, watching this on YouTube after the fact. If you haven't subscribed to Cyclone Fanatic YouTube, you should do it now. It's the best place to take in our content. We are in the Northwest Bank Studios again, thanks to our friends Mechdyne, who sponsor the program. How are you today, Blum?
I'm great. It's Wednesday.
You're a little hot.
I'm hot? Thank you. I heard that a lot. Let me turn it down.
Man, you just
a little better.
Screeched
better.
Into my,
Sorry.
Screeched
You good?
Into my. No, it's fine. You're excited.
I'm Cyhawk Week.
I appreciate where you're coming from.
I think it's come to every day with energy. Seat up.
I've had a couple people saying that they
like that.
my hoodie.
I do too.
Cyclone Fanatic Shop. We made these last year for the whiteout, and I believe they're still up there. You can go and buy them on our website.
Whiteout is coming, by the way, for the Arizona game. So get your white stuff too.
Yeah.
Get your Cardinal stuff for Saturday, and get your white stuff for Arizona.
I need to reach out to marketing to my friends over there, because we need to just be a part of their messaging to help people know what color to wear.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, it's Cardinal Saturday.
Yeah, I know, but we need to remind people as the weeks go on.
Fair.
And I won't ever think of it, and so maybe that can just be your job.
I will do that for people. Speaking of, good feedback from the listeners about the game presentation on Saturday. Iowa State heard the message. They will turn down the speakers a little bit on Saturday, FYI.
Good. Well, speaking of that, your mic's way louder than mine. I just turned your mic down as much as I could.
Okay, well, that's any better?
On the stream. Yeah, it seems a little bit better.
Yeah, I apologize, everybody.
No, it's okay. These remote broadcasts are kind of hard to judge that. It's not a great way of doing it. Well, that's good. Everybody's listening. I was up at Ames all day yesterday. Had a good time. Talked to Rocco for a little bit. Did the Taylor Mauser's press conference yesterday, by the way, was an all-timer. It's like a mini Mike Leach up there.
He is in his element right now. The guy's just vibing. What do you call Rocco, a psychopath in the best way?
Yeah, Aiden, can we play that clip? I know that we had that. Aiden did a good job of editing this up for us on Cyclone Fanatic. We'll listen to what Mauser had to say. It was to quote Max Verstappen, it was simply lovely. I enjoyed the hell. But the great thing, I've known Taylor Mauser for 8-9 years now. That's just him. It's he's a weirdo. He's like Leach. He really is.
He's a football lifer.
He's the man. And I'm telling you, I'm so impressed with his scheme and just everything that they're doing. Even if they would lose on Saturday, that guy deserves to be in the conversation to replace Matt Campbell whenever that time comes. He is an up-and-coming superstar, future head coach, and we have him right now as Iowa State's offensive coordinator.
Yeah, it's essentially, Mauser's, and he's still young, and that's the thing. This is year number 2 as an offensive coordinator, but he's been with Iowa State since Matt got here. It's a cool story. If you think about the power of college athletics, he fits right in. Played a little bit in college, not a lot. Was an okay player, then got right into coaching, and essentially worked his way up all through Iowa State. He came here with Matt in 2016, started at the lowest level possible, literally like sweeping the floors essentially. And now he's a super bright offensive coordinator, and I agree. I mean, I think you think about what's ahead for Iowa State football. Keeping that guy is going to be hard. It is, which is a credit to him. But I think he's only 33, 34. So I mean, his runway is super high, and he won me over. Well, I've liked Taylor for a long time, but last year when he did the TLC no scrubs references in the middle of the press conference, I mean, you don't just do that and not get celebrated.
All right, let's check it out. A little bit of video from this press conference yesterday.
Rocco is, I think he's a psychopath more than people think. Like, even you watch the start of the K-State game, some of the stuff that was there, like, that guy's better when all the air sucked out of the stadium. Everybody can barely see and stand up, and it's about to puke, and that guy's just nails. And even going into last week, like, we didn't take the shot to start the game because, like, it's cool or that's what we did before. It's like Rocco's better when we take a shot early and we put a lot on that guy's. The more we put on that guy's plate, the better he is. The easier we try to make it for him. For whatever reason, it's not, and he's better with his back against the wall. Like, the guy's just nuts, and I love him, and he's great, and I'd die for him. And he's so trusted, and you always feel like you have a chance with that guy. It doesn't matter what it is, if it's football, we talk about golf and all the other stuff we play all off season. Like, he wants to win everything in the worst way, and he's the ultimate competitor, and he's a guy that makes everyone around him better. He gives belief. He puts belief into everybody, into Campbell, into me, into his teammates.
I loved it. I thought it was just fantastic. His whole press conference, it is up on our YouTube page. Go and check it out. Jake has it nice and organized, our YouTube page now, with all these press conferences and interviews and all that stuff. So,
and what he said, two things that struck me in regards to the game Saturday. He literally said, "We're better off if we give Rocco something hard early, in that taking that shot." So is that a future indicator of Iowa State's going to take another shot to open the game? Wouldn't be surprised, especially in this matchup.
It also got me thinking about a lot of Rocco's big errors last year, and they weren't on difficult things.
No, they were on easy ones. And that's what he basically just said. That was Taylor's way of saying Rocco kind of sucked in the first half against K-State because we made it too easy for him. That was basically what he just said. And it's true. I think when you look at this game, these teams are obviously very similar. But the one difference is Iowa State's known commodity at quarterback. And I know Gronowski's played in a bunch of big games at South Dakota State. And I know he wasn't very good Saturday. I'm not even taking a whole lot out of the game for Iowa against Albany on Saturday. But Rocco's starting to get it now nationally, which is way overdue. Somebody had him as the top 5 quarterback in college football. And I don't even know if Iowa State fans realize how good he is. And we're finally starting to see all that work and preparation. And you and I have seen it for 2 years since he became the starter. Everyone just rallies behind the guy. And the other thing Mauser said there was interesting is Matt trusts him. Matt literally gave Rocco the choice on that 4th down play against K-State of, what do you want to run? You tell us. We'll run it. And it just adds so much to this Iowa State offense when you have essentially a third coordinator on the field in Rocco already.
The other thing about trust, a note from Mauser's press conference yesterday, was that he told us that Noah Pauley called plays in the 4th quarter. So Noah, if you guys remember, had the interview with like the 49ers or
correct.
It was the 49ers, right?
Yep.
It was them or the Rams. I get Rams mixed up because Shieldhouse is there.
Yep.
But Noah had that interview in the offseason, and I remember doing this show, and we talked about how we thought, like, Noah's an up-and-comer. Like, this is another. I thought that was really interesting.
Yep.
That the second-year offensive coordinator is already building up depth within the coaching staff and letting this other guy who Paulie's one of my favorite dudes on the staff. Like, he's fascinating to talk to, really good guy. Like, he's just nice person.
Obviously really good at his job. If
but Mauser,
he has.
Yeah, and Mauser said he went 2 for 2 and scoring on Saturday. But I'm sure that happens.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of it, though, like where you just pass that off. But it is. It's like this is a blowout. We're playing our second and third string guys and building reps there. We're going to do that within the coaching staff, too. I thought that was really interesting.
Another nugget that I found interesting, and I was lucky to be on the field after the K-State game, is Mauser and the offensive staff comes down from the rafters, where they were calling the plays, and everyone's celebrating on the field, but they're about 5 minutes late because they had to get the elevator down. And Paulie, and Clanton had monster, they just, slayed the dragon type of embraces. I mean, these guys are really close. Yeah. And I think that is reflected in Iowa State's sustained success as well. Of obviously, we can talk about the role that the collective did and all that stuff of retaining Iowa State's roster. What doesn't get talked about is how Iowa State's been able to keep this coaching staff together. And that offensive staff's now been together. Obviously, Tyler Reel left to go to the Lions. But most of those guys have been together now for 3 years. And when you go into a game like this is why, obviously Iowa's really good. But a couple things that I'm thinking about here is this is the third start for Rocco Becht against Iowa. Third. He's seen that, and they're not going to be that much different. So we've seen it before. This isn't not one. This isn't two. This is his third start against Iowa. This is the second start for Mauser against Iowa and that entire offensive staff, and that's huge. I mean, Phil Parker's really good. He's obviously one of the best in the country. What Iowa does is elite defensively. It can only help if you've seen this now 3 times for Rocco. And the way he can lead a team, it just gives me some confidence. I know it's going to be hard to move the ball against Iowa. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. But having a third-year quarterback who has seen this 2 times before and did it in Kinnick where it was electric in that fourth quarter, you got to have confidence in that if you're Iowa State, to give him the keys. And you know what? Rocco may make a mistake or two. Okay. But I'm going to live with my experienced quarterback making the decisions against a defense that had to replace a lot, honestly, in Iowa.
It's a really good point, one that I hadn't thought of. Did ask Matt Campbell about Mark Gronowski yesterday. Again, that's all up on the YouTube page. I don't think we have that clip ready for you, but Matt basically said kind of what I thought. What he did on Saturday doesn't really matter. They're watching his time at South Dakota State to see the type of player he is. And he also pointed out, and he was not good, but he did get better as that game went on. Clearly he was insanely nervous.
Well, look at Rocco. Look at Rocco's first half against K-State. It's the first half of the first game after being rusty. I'm
just kind of I'm just holding out on judging Mark Gronowski at this point. A couple other notes on this game. A lot to get to in our Wiffles Hybrids Big 12 segment.
Great stat by Marner there on the YouTube.
What's that?
Marner says that there have been 5 Iowa State quarterbacks to beat Iowa under Ferentz in return to make another start against Iowa. 4 of the 5 beat Iowa again. Notably, our guy Steele Jantz, of course, did it twice.
Steele Jantz beat Iowa twice.
Never lost.
Wow. I wouldn't have. I knew 2011. I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah, I mean, the next year wasn't exactly a sexy performance for Steele.
Oh, that was the 9-6 game?
That was the 9-6 game. Somebody suggested.
He started that game, huh?
He did.
Wow.
He did. Yeah, he did. He's played the whole game. Again,
for some reason, I think of Steele Jantz as like a one-hit wonder.
Yeah,
but maybe I'm not giving him proper credit.
No, the 2012 season, completely fascinating if you go back and look at Iowa State. Because Steele got beat out.
That was Rhodes' best team.
It was, and they couldn't. The Tech game alone in that year.
Tech game and the Kansas State games were the what-ifs. Those
Brutals.
were the McCarney 2005 games.
Yeah, so that was quarterback roulette for most of 2012. So remember, Barnett had won the job in 11. Steele came back and won it back to start 2012, and then started well. And then the Tech game happening where he literally just dropped the ball against Tech, literally just dropped the ball.
There were people thinking he thought he threw the game.
Yeah,
it was wild
just
of
right in the middle of the field.
Fumble.
He just dropped the ball.
But that's the Steele Jantz experience.
That is. Some suggested, and I like the idea. I'm for it. If we can find him, Steele Jantz Crankhorn on Saturday. Man. Who says no?
Do you know how awesome that would be? Because he's ripped. Steele Jantz shirtless Crankhorn, or wearing one of those really tight.
Yeah. He might break the horn. He might crank the horn right off. But nobody gives more fears to Iowa than Steele Jantz, or I posit Seneca Wallace also never lost to Iowa. Could you get Seneca back?
Seneca Crankhorn would be
that'd be good,
classic.
That would be appropriate.
Or you could just fly McCarney in and let him do it.
Just do it again,
like every week.
I'm glad this is becoming a thing. Yeah, just get McCarney up there, or just replay Saturday. Who cares?
the under in this game. So we're talking gambling here, but more we're trying to analyze what kind of a game do we think this will be. So the number right now, I believe it dropped to like 41.5 was the last I saw.
Yeah.
Notable in the last 20 matchups between Iowa and Iowa State, the under is hit 17 times. Crazy enough, though, last year's game went over. There were 39 points scored in last year's game, and it hit the over. So, again, just gives you a little bit of a note on what kind of games these normally are. Weird part of me feels like this might be an over game.
I don't know. I can't.
You're just sticking with it? You're sticking with the trends?
I'm 21-17 all over it, one way or another.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't see. I think Iowa State will take a couple shots. Here's something that struck me. I was looking at some numbers this morning. Iowa's defense last year allowed 3.7 yards per carry, which is still very respectable, don't get me wrong. But it was the most yardage Iowa has allowed on the ground since 2017 in a season. In fact, it was a full yard more than they've been at times in the last 8 years. So that defensive line also lost some bodies. Now, they were really good in week 1, but when you start looking at this Iowa defense, is it the same as it has been? Now, the numbers were good. The numbers, points per game, were good. And I'm always, you're looking at points per game for sure. But as slow as Iowa plays offensively, if you're getting 3.74 yards per carry on those guys, you're going to have a lot of success. And so I think that's a question mark, too, of why Iowa State, I know we joke about it, but Iowa State is not going to abandon the run in this game. They're going to try it, and they're going to try it a lot. And just like Iowa State did against K-State, they're going to keep at it and hopefully try and wear that Iowa defensive line down. And, there's some new faces on that Iowa defense. So
the linebackers are all new.
Yeah, so I know Phil Parker's really good, but I think I enter this game with, we've seen Iowa State do it against K-State already with its linebackers and secondary. We haven't really seen Iowa's new faces do it against a Power 4 team yet. They could be very good. They could be better than they were a year ago. But that trend over the last 2 years, C-Dub, for Iowa's defense has been going the wrong way in yards per carry against.
I just like the matchup with Iowa State's tight ends and those linebackers.
I do too. I think that's the X factor for me is Bramer and Burkle over the middle.
However, the aspect of so Mauser talked about this yesterday, gave a really good quote on it. That they're still not running the ball between the tackles effectively enough. He said we're better, but we're not where we want or need to be, and that will be challenged significantly,
no doubt,
on Saturday with Iowa's defensive line.
Yeah, and I'm not by any means saying Iowa's always been elite at stopping the run. And
correct.
They're going to be good again. It's just maybe not the same as Iowa was in 21 and 22 when they were top of the country good.
No doubt. I like that. This is a good year to have big tight ends going across the middle and challenging Iowa.
And then, like we talked about on Sunday, it comes down in this game always. I mean, Iowa State has literally outgained Iowa every year since 2018. It's going to come down to turnovers and special teams and who makes the mistake. And that's where I think it's the quarterback. The quarterbacks get all the attention for good reason. Gronowski was not good week 1, but he's a gamer. He's played in some high-level games. Obviously, we know Rocco, what he can do with his back against the wall. Who gets too brave, who gets too aggressive, who makes that mistake, and then taking advantage of it. The stat is still wild to me. Iowa State has not started on the Iowa side of the field in this series since 2014 and scored. They've not scored in 11 years when starting on the Iowa side of the field. I mean, at some point, that has to flip in Iowa State's direction as well.
We are Williams and Blum. We are on the Cyclone Fanatic Podcast Network in the Northwest Bank Studios. Would like to give a shout out to all of our great sponsors. We have a new sponsor on the show, Blum. These guys are not strangers to Cyclone Fanatic, but they are a new Williams and Blum sponsor. The doctors, Warmy and Greenwald from the McFarland Clinic. Love these dudes. You want to talk about guys who are just lovely humans, but they've supported us in everything we want to do, and they believe in Cyclone Fanatic and just they want to be a part of it. And I've used them too for my shoulder pain, and Dr. Warmy was awesome.
My old man did a couple different procedures with warming.
Really?
Yep.
There you go. And
Yep.
Dr. Greenwald is the best in the business. I mean, he's like the godfather over there at the McFarland Clinic. So these are your orthopedic sports medicine guys. They're down on the field with the Cyclones, but they do the day-to-day stuff with the – am I considered a weekend warrior? I don't think I'm probably a weekend warrior. I think I'm just a guy. I'm an old guy.
You're just a guy
who
now.
gets hurt.
We're
a lot.
not weekend warrioring anything.
Nonetheless, you don't got to live with that pain. Like, if you got anything, call our guys, Wormy and Greenwald at the McFarland Clinic up there in Ames. They're the same guys working on the Cyclones, and they do an awesome job. And just really, really, really appreciate them. They're some of my favorite people that I've met in 20 years of doing this. So they're on Williams and Blum now.
Love it.
It's awesome. It's good to have them. Want to thank our friends at Gravitate Co-working as well. Go to gravitatecoworking.com. I'm doing an event there downtown coming up, I believe in October. Maybe it's in September. I don't know. Jacqueline has it on my calendar. I'm going to show up, and I'm going to kick ass at it, though. We're doing it at Gravitate Co. It's with the Des Moines Partnership. It's a entrepreneur type thing that I'm speaking at, which they gave me some options, and I was like, let's go to Gravitate.
That's perfect space.
Perfect
spot
meetings.
for entrepreneurs to meet.
Perfect spot for that. And it is Will season.
It's Will season. It is.
Yeah, you could drop dead on Saturday because of a heart attack.
The good news is
Cardiac clones.
For sure. Like, this is a one-score game, guys. Like, we're staring at it again.
So,
100%. So, like, get that figured out. You can do it in a day. It's Wednesday, game Saturday. Get it done in a day.
Yeah.
HopewoodJD.com.
How's that for an ad? I mean, that's just perfection. Okay. I am going to pick. Well, go ahead.
Weather. Can we talk about weather on Saturday?
It's going to be lovely, isn't it?
Lovely. It's
71 and sunny.
It is hoodie season. I think it's the Ames. I saw 66.
So that Arizona
even.
game, is it going to be like 95 degrees?
Well, I mean, that's where we're trending. I mean, we're flipping it now. You could not ask for a more perfect setting for Saturday. It's hoodie season. I think early morning it'll be in the mid-50s and then rising to the upper 60s by the end of the game. But it's going to be gorgeous. The theatrics around the pregame TV, not to mention, I'd totally space this out because I'm old now. The Barstool people are going to be there. 69 degrees. 69 degrees, nice 8.
I think the Barstool thing's a bigger deal than the Fox show.
I was just going to say that. I don't think some of our older audience really realizes the impact that
the
those
social
people,
media thing
is going to be massive. It's going to be,
and
it is going to be.
Disclosure, I don't even watch Barstool stuff. Like, I'm not even in, but I know how big of a deal Portnoy is, and I respect the hell out of him as an entrepreneur. Like,
Same.
that is a massive deal.
I was just going to say that, C-Dub. That is arguably, it's not bigger than ESPN Game Day, but between the Fox thing and the Barstool thing, you're getting a whole different audience to get eyes on Iowa State, which is great. Again, we can complain about, there's going to be so much extra traffic, and it's going to be a crap show and all this stuff. We
could go back to the days where there wasn't traffic and you could just walk into the stadium without a ticket.
This is part of the. Man, this is big time, is what it is.
You think Ohio State fans are like, the Fox show's coming to town? No.
Are the Ohio State people saying, hey, turn down the speakers, it's too loud? Which I respect. I get it.
I don't.
They probably would.
It's a fucking football game. Sorry. Shouldn't have cussed. It's just like, come on.
We got Portnoy.
Then, James points out, too, our buddy Josh Pate's going to be in town.
Pate's in town? Oh, my God. It's going to be
Hassel's coming.
Hassel's going to be in town?
It's a who's who.
I don't necessarily like that Hassel's going to be in town. I don't have not good vibes there.
Oh, this is going to be great because when they lose, Hassel's just going to be a disaster.
That's fair. Can I at least, awesome. Hassel, I know you're listening. If Iowa State wins, you and me get a picture with the bobblehead, okay, pal? And the bench. You meet the bobblehead.
Is the bobblehead and bench making an appearance on Saturday?
The bobblehead is probable. The bench is questionable.
I didn't see either one of them on opener.
No, we gotta get to the feel of things. We take out the bobblehead for the bobblehead is gonna make an appearance on the fire truck. I think this Saturday morning.
Hassel and I have been discussing Friday night and if we want to actually do the RV Village, and we're leaning towards no.
You can go on your own somewhere.
Well, it's an 11 a.m. kick.
True.
I'm gonna have to be in the press box by 9.
Yeah, don't want to go too hard Friday.
Well, and it'll be a lot.
It's gonna be a lot regardless. There's gonna be people who don't sleep.
I know.
Are we not? I'm not. I'm too old for that. I'm sleeping.
Yeah, you have to. You're 40.
Maybe almost 41. Wow. But no, I think good point. We gotta regulate, pace ourselves Friday, big day Saturday, celebration.
And the weather's
Saturday afternoon.
And I just like last weekend I stayed up until I watched all those Friday games drinking Guinness with Cooper. See, that's the thing too.
Can't
we
doing
did
that
this.
anymore. You
No,
can't
but
do that anymore.
We're doing this for the Cyclones, okay? Me and my buddy Coop, we are drinking Guinness until Iowa State loses. Like that's
so
all
this
we're
is a
drinking.
thing. I like that. I appreciate that.
We are taking one. I really like the Guinness. We found the the nitro cans are a little bit better.
Okay.
We feel like compared to regardless, like we are drinking Guinness. That's the only beer I'm drinking until the Cyclones lose.
I appreciate that. Good work out of you.
And
Good
if
job,
the Cyclones win the national championship, and go undefeated, I'm
Guinness
drinking
for the rest of the time.
Yeah, I'm not drinking another damn beer until the Cyclones lose a game.
Respect.
Okay, let's do our overall thoughts on this thing. I'm gonna pick Iowa State to win this thing, and I don't think it's possible to be confident in the Cyhawk game because it's just such a weird, like, if one guy fumbles, it's probably going to change the whole thing, or if there's one missed kick, or right, like. But I am going to. I picked Iowa State to win the game before the season started. There's clearly nothing we've seen on the field at this point that would lead me to change that pick, and I might even pick Iowa State to win by low double digits, by like 10 or so. I really like this Iowa State team. I still don't know exactly what Iowa is. I don't think you can take anything from that Albany game. I really don't. They were insanely rusty, even on defense. They're going to have that week 1 to week 2 bump. That absolutely will happen. And, it kind of comes down to this Gronowski. What can he actually do? I think he's a lot better than what he showed in week 1. Is he going to be ready in week 2 to show that? I talked with Chad Leistico from the Des Moines Register on my CW pod on Iowa Everywhere this week. He kind of leans – I felt like Chad was hedging a little bit on the Gronowski stuff, thinking that it may be mid-year before he's hitting on full cylinder. Go listen to that if you want. I thought it was really good conversation with Chad. Jeff Woody also came on to break down the game. But I'm leaning – maybe a little like 24-14-ish. I think Iowa State might be able to tack one on and get a 2-score win here. We'll see. Where are you at?
Yeah, I mean, I just think known commodities. I understand the history of this game.
Really quick, Aiden with a great stat here. Iowa State hasn't won by double digits since 2003. 2005, 23-3 game.
There you go. I mean,
so that would be a massive undertaking if Iowa State could do that.
And I just people know how Iowa plays. It's going to be low possession, so winning by 10 is hard against those guys.
It's why I probably won't, but I'm considering.
Yeah, but I'm looking to C-Dub, and I don't know the exact stat. When's the last time Iowa beat a ranked team?
I actually saw that. It's been years.
It's like 21, right? Like
it's been almost 5 years since they've beaten a ranked team.
And again, I respect Iowa a lot. Sometimes I think people don't realize how good Iowa State is potentially. And they're ranked 16th in the country. If you saw, let's say Iowa's going. Look at. Let's just do an exercise, okay? Look at teams ranked 13 to 17 in the country, and you say, okay, Iowa after playing Albany is going on the road to those teams. What would the point spread be? Okay, what is Iowa at Michigan right now? Probably 8 to 10 points.
They're a double-digit dog, I would think.
What about Iowa at Clemson right now? What's that going to be? Probably 7 to 10 points.
Well, I can give it to you right now if you really want. Iowa at Clemson. I'm pulling up my power ratings right here.
Okay.
Iowa's a 52. Clemson's a 63. They would be almost 14-point underdog.
Okay.
At Clemson.
And so
at Michigan, they would be a 10-point underdog.
Okay. So do you follow where I'm kind of going here?
Yeah.
Obviously we know this series. We've seen it. I know Iowa State hasn't beaten Iowa since 2011. But if Iowa State is legit a top 15 program like they have looked, this is a game, if at home, I know it's in-state, intrastate battle. If this isn't an intrastate game and it's Iowa at South Carolina, that's 12 to 15 points. And I just think if you look at it in that context, the 3 is actually really light in regards to the point spread. But I understand the series. Like I say that well knowing what's going on here. If Iowa is at Utah, C-Dub, what's that point spread?
I can give it to you right now. Iowa at Utah. That's not yakety sax. That's the circus thing.
It's close enough.
Iowa at Utah would be an 8-point underdog.
See, and that's where, again, I'm just trying to like give context here of if Iowa State is as good as we think they are, with Iowa's question marks, this should be probably more around that. But everybody understands, again, the history of this series, and it's going to be a low possession game. I just think Iowa State's known commodities at quarterback, how good it has been through 2 games, already seen a defensive line similar to Iowa and K-State, the fact that Gronowski hasn't seen Iowa State's defense before, Iowa State being at home, I think Iowa State should be favored and potentially even more than 3 points.
Yeah, I think everything you said is spot on.
So the stat here, Iowa's last win against a ranked team is 21. It's been 2019 since Iowa beat a team that finished in the top 25.
Yeah, it's just it all comes back to me. I think Iowa State's really good. I said all summer long I think this team's better than last year's roster-wise. So I'm staying with it. They've shown me absolutely nothing to hedge on that. They've outperformed what I think any of us thought. Iowa's the wild card here.
Can you do?
They are the wild card here. We don't know. You cannot take anything from that week 1 game and just say anything matter of fact. Now you can maybe hedge a little bit and lean one way or the other, but I am not judging that quarterback. I'm not judging their defense. I think it's easier to judge their defense than it would be their quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. And if Iowa State is a top 20 program, this point spread should be closer to 6 or 7. It's the intrastate thing that's keeping it a 3-point. And I get it. Like I would probably do the same thing.
Yeah, because if you put this spread at 6, everybody would bet the underdog. Even if Iowa State was the underdog,
100%.
Everybody would bet the underdog
because the way the series is.
And it's set up right now. Like really, if you're just going on data and like you're betting Iowa at 3.5. Because you're getting that
think it's
hook.
going to be a field goal for sure.
Yeah, because you're getting that hook. Like, and if it was 2.5, then it's like, well, who do you think will win the game?
Yeah,
and then most people would bet Iowa State based on what we're saying.
And that's where I think if you just remove Iowa State and you put Miami in there, who by the way Iowa State beat Miami in the bowl game. What's that point spread?
So much so that they pulled their starting quarterback because they didn't want him to get hurt. They were afraid of the vaunted Cyclone defense.
If you don't sense the sarcasm there, I got
Marcus Neal was just
terrified the number 1 overall pick. Cam Ward had to get pulled.
They had to get him out of there. They're like, we don't want to get him hurt.
We don't want to get him hurt before the draft.
He didn't want anything to do with John Haycock.
Too funny.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning. I'm going to pick Iowa State to win for sure, and I think that's a pretty good breakdown of everything. We have the Aiden, real quick. When do the beat reporters come out? Is that coming out soon?
Thursday. It'll be on Thursdays throughout the season.
This is our new show. It is awesome. Did you listen to it last week?
I did.
It was really, really good. Jake Bryn, Ben Hutchins, and Rob Gray. Ben's from the Quad City Times, so he's hanging out with us on it. It was if you like the nitty gritty, like no farting around, joking about it. These guys are talking football. It was awesome. And it usually takes me about a year to get into a new podcast, and I usually don't like listening to other Iowa State podcasts because it's just we do so many of them. I thought it was those guys just absolutely crushed it. So check that out. It'll be on the feed tomorrow.
Totally agree. Great voices, and man, lucky to have all 3 of those guys on the squad.
Absolutely. All right, let's do our Wiffles Hybrids Big 12 segment. because I have some really interesting power ratings, Big 12 power ratings that I want to get to. Our friends at Wiffles Hybrids. Plant your independence, baby. My Wiffles mug right here today.
If you want to take a detour while you're killing time in Ames, go check out the Wiffles facility.
Lovely.
Massive place. Lovely place.
Steve Manikin at VSiN, I like his power ratings. They're kind of the ones I like to go off of. I don't know if they're better than the others, but I like the way they put them together, and Steve's a good handicapper. I thought this was fascinating. So he has Utah and Arizona State both power rated the same. Their number is 56. Don't worry about the numbers. What you worry about here is the difference between numbers. So that's like your lines in a neutral field point spread. Okay? So he has Arizona State and Utah both at 56. TCU at 54. Iowa State and Texas Tech both at 53.5. You have a 2.5 point swing between among five teams in the Big 12. That's staggering. That shows you how close the top of this league is.
Yeah, just what we thought, though.
Yeah.
And then Kansas can't be too far off the way it has.
You know what? That's a good point. Let me pull up Kansas and see where they're at.
And while you're doing that, here's the current odds. This is fascinating to me, C-Dub. Odds to win the Big 12 championship. You ready?
Yep.
Utah, now the favorite, at 425.
Yep.
Tech is second at 475. Iowa State at third at 6-1. Arizona State fourth now at 650. And then TCU 5 at 800. Baylor still sixth at 11. Kansas 7 at 14. And then BYU sneaking around, by the way, 18-1. BYU allowed -9 yards rushing in its opener. Now, it was against
Portland State,
a.k.a., Collins Maxwell Baxter, but good for them.
This is going to blow your mind. Kansas is down at a 48. On the power
value on the – we're watching that. That's, other than the Cy-Hawk game, the Missouri-Kansas game is fascinating Saturday.
So Kansas State is the next highest rated power team at 52. So they're just right off of Texas Tech
Iowa State,
and Iowa State still. Then you go to it's Baylor at 51.5, BYU at 51, and then you got all the way down to Kansas at 48. So he thinks at least that Baylor, basically BYU, Baylor, Kansas State, Iowa State, Texas Tech, TCU, Utah, and Arizona State are all within 5 points.
5 points. It's going to be wild. It's going to be a wild season in the Big 12.
And again, this is where we come up with the analysis that it just makes it really hard for the Big 12 to be a multi-bid league because you're going to knock each other off if ratings like this are accurate.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you kind of get misrepresented a little bit when you say it's not a multi-bid league. You're not saying that there's not two teams capable of making a playoff and winning a playoff game. I firmly believe there's multiple teams in the Big 12 that can win a playoff game. I do. It's just you're going to have multiple losses, and we saw it already, unfairly so, in my opinion, but I blame Baylor here more than necessarily the conference. Baylor in that spotlight, losing that game, was horrible because it was all eyes on Baylor against a quote-unquote bottom half of the SEC, and people don't have context. They're not going to go look at what Utah did to UCLA after that. They're just not. They're going to form their opinion. They're going to say, Baylor is supposed to be a top half contender, and they just got drilled by Auburn. It's unfortunate because the Big 12 actually did have an okay weekend relatively compared to other conferences, but you kind of lost the plot there with that Baylor game. What you're saying is we're going to have multiple 7-2s. We're going to have multiple 7-2s, and
yes.
If you have two losses in the Big 12,
play to tiebreakers,
and that is why entering this game, this is always a stressful week. It's, I think, less stressful for Iowa State, honestly, maybe a little bit more confidence for Iowa State because it does have that win against K-State. That is huge. That proves, and I know what K-State did against North Dakota, but it proves to Iowa State's got one in their back pocket. The goal is to win the Big 12. Iowa State is 1-0 regardless of what happens Saturday in the Big 12. And I think that in some way gives them some confidence of, okay, even if this doesn't go our way, we still got a lot in front of us here. And maybe that takes some of the pressure off.
Well, I sure hope so.
I hope so, too.
Sure hope so.
Me talking to myself.
Really good. While I'm promoting our other content, Jake has been doing the Daily Clone. His one yesterday, Jake spoke with Rocco about this, and actually it may have been Caleb Bacon. I forget which player it was. But he asked him what they were doing in 2011. And they're all like, I was 7 years old or I was 8 years old. And it gives you perspective on this. We, as sports reporters, we often will – there is a great book. I read this like 10 years ago about how writers and can just completely manipulate any stat however they want.
Listen, I do that every day.
Oh, yeah. But this thing is like, I don't think it matters to Rocco Becht that Iowa State hasn't won at home since 2011. What is interesting, and Jake asked Campbell about this yesterday. I wish we had the audio. We should start cutting up a few audio clips for this show. And it was, I loved Matt's answer about why the away team keeps winning this game. Because it's not just one-sided. I mean, Iowa State's been winning in Kinnick, too.
Iowa State has won 2 of 3.
Yeah. And Matt was basically like, I don't know. He goes, it's clearly a fact, like that this keeps happening, but I don't know why.
Do you put too much pressure on you when you're at home?
He kind of alluded to that.
Yeah, I mean, when you're on the road, it's kind of like it's us against the world. You can kind of rally behind that. I have 21 in particular, C-Dub, Iowa State felt the heaviness of the world on its shoulders in that game right from the start. And Brock played like it. Mm-hmm. And we know how good Brock is. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I know Rocco's been great. I trust Rocco. Everybody does. But this game can do some weird things to people. With that many people, with amped up as it's going to be on Saturday, who can control themselves early in that game is a big part too. And hopefully,
no doubt,
no violent lightning storms and rain that disrupts the flow like 19.
God. I still think Iowa State wins that game.
Well,
there's no way to prove it, and Iowa did better after the delay. But Iowa State was on a roll when that storm rolled.
What do you think? Mauser taking a shot early? I think he does, doesn't he?
Well, he kind of telegraphed it, so maybe he's going to go the other way.
Is he going to go the other way now? Is he out?
I hope they do. I hope that you just try and make a statement, right? And I'm not saying this is going to be 23-3, but if there was ever a year to do it, this would be it. You're getting Iowa at a great time. New quarterback, these new linebackers. Like, this is a good time to get them.
Yeah.
And you're, by all means, look to be in midseason form.
Here's next
There's
topic.
also an element of risk to that, too,
Yep.
against this Iowa team.
Iowa State wins the toss. Are you deferring or are you taking the ball? I have a thought here.
Take the ball.
I disagree.
Okay.
I think you defer. I think you back up Gronowski and make a play with the noise early.
That's a good point. Yeah, I could go either way.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
I was saying, like, it'd be really great.
Yeah, if you go 7-0, and then
Gronowski's they got to throw, and they feel like they're behind, and they can't just get into their
fair point.
Take the life out of the game.
That's the fun part of this game. You can counter every single part of it, and that's why we love the thing.
It's a great game. The Iowa to me is just so happy that this rivalry is what it is now. That it's getting like these
and it's getting
big
national
time
attention
slots
now.
and
yeah.
The Barstool thing, the Big Fox, the Klatt's going to be in town, like all the big dogs. That's what I love about it the most because we deserve it.
We do.
Our state is so rare. The only one I can think of that's comparable is South Carolina, where half of my family's from, with Clemson, South Carolina, and what they have going on there. And I know how big of a deal that game is because of the no pro sports thing. And, like, we deserve this. Like, this is what college football is all about, where, this is our pro sports. And both teams and programs are really good, and there's no more passion. There's bigger fan bases, but the passion is here, and it deserves to be spotlighted.
No, I agree. I mean, just think about 19 game day, 21 game day, 25 has Big Noon. This game has been on national TV for 6 years in a row. At some point, I think we could pat ourselves on the back as in-state programs to have a low-population state like Iowa.
Absolutely.
To have two successful, powerful programs is a testament to everybody's support, by the way.
And good on
in
them
this
to
era.
keep this game
Keep
in the
going.
second week of September
Yeah.
because it gives you more of a spotlight. If this was in the middle of November, you wouldn't have that.
I know that was fun the one year in 2001 when they played it in November, but I hope amongst all the chaos of college athletics, we don't lose, similar to the Farmageddon deal, C-Dub, we don't lose the fun things. This is a fun game. I know it's stressful for people, and it brings out some of the worst, but also brings the best of what the state's all about and what college sports means to this area. And sometimes we get lost in that. But we should sell the fact that both these programs have not only survived this era of college athletics, but thrived, is a testament to everybody in this state for keeping this thing going.
Can we do a tracker to see the economic value of this on Saturday and send it to our friends at the legislature, please?
I hope they're paying attention.
I'm serious.
The national media attention alone is worth tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
By the way. FYI.
What else?
What else?
Other than the Iowa State Fair
That's about it.
and the caucus, which happens once every 4 years. There's nothing.
Nothing. So that's why. Thank you for saying that, and I know there's progress being made. Yeah,
I'll absolutely pound that drum.
And just think, yeah,
We spend money on a lot stupider things than the economic health of our institutions and our athletic departments that are the number one. I would say, other than the state fair, they have to be the number one form of tourism in the state.
And then I say this respectfully to my friends over in Iowa City. How many Iowa fans will be there on Saturday? A lot.
Yeah.
How many go to Madison? Not as many. You know, like this game matters. It does, and it's okay to admit that. Nobody wants to lose this game.
Hell no.
It's okay. It's okay.
Talk shit for an entire year.
Yeah,
about
exactly.
this.
Exactly.
Anybody who's argues that's an idiot.
Yeah.
All right, let's do our Wiffles Hybrids Big 12 segment, shall we?
Perfect.
Kind of interesting slate. I missed this one. We missed this on Guess the Point Spread. Baylor at SMU.
Oh, how do we miss that?
I don't know. I apologize. I kicked myself that night because I always guess the point spread.
Is that SMU?
Yes.
10. SMU 10.
Man, you're way off. That's a miss. It's a 3.
Oof. That's really bad. Okay, don't count that one, Bloom Tracker. It's a bad
I'll
miss.
give you a hot take. Baylor wins.
No way. Okay.
But this the Williams
can't-
special.
I can't do it with Aranda until I see
Don't
otherwise.
overreact to 1 week, people.
I'm not. I'm overacting the Aranda era. That's what I'm reacting to.
I don't like Aranda's whole thing either, but I'm telling you, like, they're not as bad as.
No, they've got guys. They
And they
popped
lost to
from
an SEC team.
I
It's not like
understand.
they had 2 possessions where they were in the red zone and like had turnovers.
I've got friends at SMU though. I'm a Mustang for the day. Although it would be better for the Big 12 if Baylor won, quite frankly.
Hell yeah, it'd be better.
Yeah, actually, they kind of need that.
So yeah, that one is at
What
11.
time's that? That's 11 too.
Yeah, so that's on the CW. It's on that ACC,
the ACC
network
special.
thing. Kent State at Tech. Don't need to talk about that. Gundy and Oklahoma State at Oregon. That is
Did you
a
see they got
2:30.
in? They got into a press conference war of words yesterday.
Oh
Gundy.
God, no! What happened?
Gundy took his shirt off at one point.
Shut up.
Yeah, he did. He showed his chest off for some reason. I didn't quite catch the context there, but he did.
Aiden, can you get this video for us? This seems
I'm
like
pretty sure
we need
Gundy
to play
took his
it.
shirt off. Gundy took his shirt off at one point yesterday. But they got into it, him and Lanning, about who's buying more players. Yeah, there you go. I don't know why Gundy is showing his chest off there, but he did do that yesterday.
Yeah, this isn't video. This is just a still. But
Yeah.
so I have no idea what the context
With
was
Gun-
either.
But he and Lanning, Gundy, this is, again, world we're living in, is like, well, they should play. Gundy's quote was something like, Oregon needs to be scheduling, and thank you for zooming in on his chest, Aiden. That was very,
He's looks good for 50.
he's in pretty good shape for, how he's got to be, well, he was a man, he was 50 in 2007.
So he's got to be like 60.
He's 58 now.
Okay, yeah.
He's 58. But Gundy basically said Oregon needs to schedule somebody who spends as much as they do, and not us, because he's like, we spent $7 million the past 3 years. Oregon spent $40 last year alone, which is, again, I don't know if it's not ironic necessarily, but interesting coming from Oklahoma State, who literally built its program off a monster billionaire. And now the monster's gone, and now they're struggling.
You're saying monster is he's just this big, but you're not calling T-Boone Pickens
no, in a good way, like a monster donor. Yeah, in a good, that's a positive. That's a compliment.
Yeah. Which is just like this whole thing. It's like, and I don't understand why it's bad to buy players. Like that's
what Lanning said is we're buying. He's like we're buying to win is what he basically said. Now I understand Gundy's. Maybe he's trying to fire up his own fans or saying, "Hey, I'm not fighting a fair fight here." But
I forgot to text you this. Guess what I randomly found out last night? Cody Campbell follows me on Twitter.
No way. There you go.
I'm helping shape the future of the.
I love the commercial he came out with trying to. Did you see that commercial on all the?
I love Cody Campbell.
Yeah. I'm big.
We need more guys like that. Like
Cody, we're on your team, buddy. We're pro Cody Campbell on this podcast.
I might have to DM him, see if I can get him on CW pod.
That would be fascinating. That'd be a great chat. But yeah, so Gundy up against Oregon this weekend.
All right, we only have like 3 minutes left because Bloom's got to go. We have Kansas at Missouri. Great game there.
Yep.
That is a 2:30 kick, ESPN2. Missouri's a 6.5-point favorite. I don't know enough about them to give you a lot of analysis here. You've got Army at Kansas State, which would normally be interesting, but Army is pretty bad this year, so Kansas State's a 17.5-point favorite there. This is the one that I'm very intrigued by, is Arizona State at Mississippi State.
Yeah, fascinating. Again,
big game there for the Big 12.
Yeah,
you
Big
can't
12.
have your champ go and lose to the 2-10 team from last year in the SEC.
No, especially after what Baylor just did to Auburn. Like it's not a must-win. I mean, shoot. As Marv Levy once said, World War II is a must-win. But for the Big 12's sake, can't be losing to Mississippi State. Just can't.
Completely agree. All right, there you go. There you have it. Wiffle Cybrid's Big 12 segment. We have the beat reporters coming up. Don't forget to subscribe and watch the Daily Clone. Jake Brent's. What we designed it. It's like a 5 to 10 minute show every day, which is what do you need to know about the Clones and the Big 12? That's coming up later today and tomorrow. We do it Monday through Thursday. Brent Blum, thank you. Appreciate
Cheers.
you. Aiden Wyatt producing the show as he does on Wednesdays.
Hey.
We'll be live every Wednesday at 9.
I'm telling this maybe to myself. Mixing a water or two this weekend, everybody. Just a couple. Just a couple waters. Just a couple.
We'll see you guys on Sunday night, Williams and Blum. Hopefully having celebratory Cody Rhodes. Later. Have a good one.